Hello, I'm Abide Olanike, presenting HESI A2 Mathematics for Becoming a Daily. We'll be going through fractions, decimal, percentages, and some word problems, word exercises that has to do with fraction, decimal, and percentages today. Uh, Going through the first part, fractions. When you talk about fraction, it represents part of a whole, which can be numerator, that's the top number, which is the part that you have, and the denominator, which is the bottom number, the second part, which represent the total of the part, the total of the part. And when you have an example 3/4, that means 3 parts out of 4. And that means 3 will be the numerator and 4 is the denominator. Then fraction can be proper fraction when you have small number as numerator and the bigger number as denominator. The example, we have 3/4, 2/5, 3/5, 4/7, and so on like that. And it can be improper as fraction. Example like having a big number a big number as numerator over the small number as denominator. That's like 4/3, 5/2, 7/3, and so on like that. Then we have mixed number. From improper fraction, we can get mixed number from there. That means we can say, okay, for example, 4/3. If we want to make it to become mixed number, that would be how many 3 in 4? That would be 1. Then the remainder there will be 1. Then it will be kept as 1/3. That would be one whole number, 1/3. Then if it is 5/2, which is the improper fraction, we can change it to mixed number. That means we want to find how many 2 in 5. When you find how many 2 in 5, that would be 2. Now, then we have to write that as 2 whole number. The remainder is 1, then we say over 2. And so on like that. And the examples of mixed numbers are 1 whole number 3/4, 3 whole number 3/4, and so on. Then we can convert improper fraction to mixed number or mixed number to improper fraction. How? If you look at mixed number, example that's 1 whole number 3/4. If you are to convert that to improper fraction, that means we say 4 times 1, that be 4. Then we add 3, which is the numerator, to it. That would be 7/4. So that will turn to improper fraction. The same way with 3 whole number 3/4, you can convert it to improper fraction. That will be 3, that is the whole number there, times 4, that is the denominator. That will be 12. Then we add it to 3, which is numerator, and that will be 12 plus 3 will be 15/4. We can continue like. And the other part is we are still looking at simplified fraction. To simplify fraction, like when you have 8/12, we want to write it to the simplest form, to the lowest part of the lowest form of it. And that will be when you have 8/12, but then we think of what number can we use to divide 8 and can also divide 12. And that means we are going to like looking for factors of 8 and factors of 12. Factors of 8 are 1, 2, 4, and 8. That of 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And when you look at the two factors of 8 and factors of 12, considering that the common factor there and the greatest among them will be 4. That means 4, we can use 4 to divide 8, then 4 to divide 12 to give us 4. How many 4 in 8? 2. How many 4 in 12? That's 3. So that will give us 2/3. So it's same to write 8/12 in its simplest form, then it will be 2/3. We can also do it in another way. We can say this A divided by 12. We can start by dividing. We know 2 can divide both of them. We can divide A by 12 by 2, also divide 12 by 2. So until we get to the least number that we cannot divide further. So, and that will also give us 2/3 at the end of. Then we can look at fraction to decimal. We can convert fraction to decimal, like example, 3/4 is a fraction. If you want to take it as decimal, then we set it up as 3 divided by 4. Then using long division, we have this number, these lines that we have over here. We try to put 3 in between the line, inside the line, then 4 will be out there. And when we do that, we have 3 will first be there. We can say 4. How many can we divide 3 by 4? No. So we can put 0, then we put point. And that point will enable us to put 0 at the back of 3 to make it 30. So we now see how many 4 in 30, that's 7. And that will be 4 times 7, that will be 28. And that's how we have 28 here. Then we can subtract 28 from 30. That will give us 2. But because of this point also, we can also change that 2 to 20. We had another 0. That will make it 20. How many 4 in 20? That will be 5. 5 times 4, that will give us 20. And 20 minus 20 will give us 0. And that means 3 over 4 is this. If we want to convert it to decimal, it's the same thing as 0.7. The next one is decimal to fraction. So we can have decimal like 0.25. If we want to change it to fraction, then we can just write it as 0.25. It will be like we take the whole number, the number after decimal, which is 25. So we write it as like whole number 25. Then we put over. Then the points, we use 1 to represent point 1. Then how many digit number do we have after point 2? So that will make us to put 2 zeros. And that's how we have 25 over 100. For example, if you have 0 maybe 253. So that means that will be 253 divided by 1. Then that will now be 3 zeros. So the number at the back of point, the number behind the point, if you count that, will give us the number of zeros to put. So 2 of 25 by 100, if you divide both sides by 25, then we can have how many 25 in 25, that will be 1. How many 25 in 100, that will be 4. Or we can also go by like, okay, let's use 5 to divide each of them. Divide 25 by 5, then divide 100 by 5. So that will give us more steps to do it. And at the end of the day, the answer will be 1 over 4. So that means we have just converted 0.25 to 1 over 4, which is decimal to fraction. Then the next one will be, we may be giving some numbers, which can be decimal, it can be a fraction. Then the exam will ask us in the exam to pick the greatest or the highest out of those numbers. So for example, this number 0.75, 2 over 3, 0.8, 3 over 5. To get the highest number from all these 4 numbers, then the best way is to convert all of them to decimal. This one is decimal, this is a fraction, this is decimal, this is also a fraction. So the decimal we have, we keep it there. The fraction, we use our long division. That means like the line we did the other time, where we put 2 in the line, 3 outside the line. Then we say, okay, how many 2 can we get in 3? How many 3 can we get in 2? That's impossible. Then we put 0 and point. Then we can put 0 at the back of 2. Then when you put 0 at the back of 2, that will be 20. How many 3 can we get in 20? That will give us 6. 6 times 3 will be 18. Then we can subtract 18 from 20, that's 2. And that will continue like that. So we are going to have 0.666 that will continue. So this can just be like 0.666, maybe 7. We can round it up to 7 because 6 will continue. It's like a recurring fraction. So that means we can just write 0.75, 0.667, or 0.66. The way we have it now, depending on how many decimal that we have, how many points, how many digit number after point. Then the next one is 0.8, still like that. Then 3 over 5, we can change it to using long decimal, 3 inside the number, 5 outside. How many 5 in 3? 0. Then we put points, then we put 0 at the back of 3 to make it 30. Then we say how many 5 in 30? That will give us 6. So that will be 0.6. Then we say 6 times 5. That will be 30. Then 30 minus 30 would give us 0, making us to have 0.6 as equivalent to 3 over 5. So considering 0.75, 0.66 and 0.8, then 0.6. The highest here will be 0.8. You can see that all other ones are um, they are less number. They are number less than all other, or I mean 0.8. So looking at this, they are 0.7 is lower than 0.8 and so on like that. So the highest there is 0.8. Is 0.8. So we go for the next one, which is picking the lowest number. They can give us set of numbers, mixture of fraction and decimal, that we should find which one is the lowest among all. Then the best way is to convert all of them to decimal. And when you do that, 1 over 4, we have 0.25, 0.23, 5 remain, 3 over 10, that's 0.30. That's just by our long division that we did the other time, the 0.28. So going by all this, the least or the lowest number in this case will be 0.25 in this case. And again, we can use what we call number line. So we just draw a line, an horizontal line, then 0 will be at the center of it. So we can have, at times we can have number with the negative and some with positive. So when you put number line, I mean an horizontal line, then 0 at the center, to the right. To the right will be positive, to the left will be negative. Then we can just, since we have all this as 0 as a number less than 1, so that will be 0. We know that after 0, the next should be like maybe 1, but depending on what we have, and all these numbers are positive, so this will be like 0. Maybe you can use like 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. Then in between 0.1 and in between 0.2 and 3, in between 0.2 and 0.3, there will be 0.25. So by the time we trace those numbers from the number line, then we can see which one is the lowest numbers. The next one is fraction to percentage, and that's just like when you have 3 over 4, which to change to percentage, you just multiply that fraction by 100, so that by 100. That means we have 3 over 4 times 100, then 4, how many 4 in 100? That would be 25. Then that would be 3 times 25 to give us 75%. That's what we have. Then decimal we can convert decimal to percentage as well. When we have that, we have maybe something like 0.6 to percentage. The first part will be like, okay, 0.6. First, let's try and see we want to convert it to fraction. So that will just be 0.6 will be the same thing as 6 over, I've told you where we have our points. Where we have points, it will be 1. Then how many digits number do we have after points? We have just 6. That's one number. So that will be 0. That means it's like 6 over 10. So when you say 6 over 10 times 100, then you can divide 10 by 100, 100 by 10. That will give us 100 by 10 will be 10. Then we have 6 times 10 to give us 60. Or the way we just have it now, the one I've just explained is what we have here. So, or we can just use our calculator and just say 0.6 multiplied by 100, and that will give us our 60% as decimal. The next one, we have more examples of fractions and decimals to percentages. The first one, convert 1 over 5 to percentage. That's 1 over 5 times 100. When you to convert to percentage, you multiply by 100. How many 5 in 100? That's 20. So 1 times 20 will be 20%. The next one is 2 over 3, which is the fraction to percentage. We just multiply by 100. Then we try to say how many we divide. How many 3 in 100? We try to divide it, then multiply by 2. That will be 2 times, or we just say 2 times 100 divided by 3. And that will give us 66.6, which should be, we can round it up to 66.7 because we have 60 that continues. Then we have convert 0.25 to percentage. Also, we can first change this to fraction. 25 for 100 times 100 is 100. We divide 100 and to give us 25%. The next one is 0.125 to percentage. Convert that 0.125 to fraction, and that will be 125 over 1 in place of points. How many numbers at the back of point? 3 digit numbers. So we put 3 zeros and that's 125 times over 1,000 times 100. So 100, two of these zeros, we cancel the 100 to make it 125 over 10, and that's 12.5. We have some problems that can be like in words, exercises in words. Like example, we have a patient drank 3/4 of a 240 milliliter water bottle. Borrow. How many milliliters did the patient drink? So if you look at that, if it is 3/4 of 240, it's just like 3/4 times 240 milliliter of water bottle. And that means the patient drank 3/4 of a 240. So that would be 3/4 times 240. And we can just say how many 4 in 240. We get the answer and multiply by 3 to have it 180. So that means the patient has just taken 180 milliliter of the water that he drank. The next one, we are looking at another word exercise. A medication order is 0.6 milligram per kilogram for a 50 kilogram patient. How many milligrams should be administered? If you look at that, 0.6 milligram will be for 1 gram. That means when we have 50 kilogram, 0.6 milligram will be for 1 kilogram. So when you have 50 kilogram patients, then this is just like for you to know the milligram that will be administered to such patients, then it will be 0.6 times 50. So, and that's what we have. You can just have here. We take 0.6, convert. We can say okay, 0.6. Let's take it to fraction. That will give us 6/10. Then we can take it to the simplest form. That will be 3/5. Then multiply by 50 to make it 30. How many 5 in 50? That will be 10 times 3. That will be 30, and that means the patient will take medication that will be administered to the patient will be 30. The next one, which is same word exercise, is a wound cleanser. Solution is made by mixing 25% antiseptic and 75% water. If the total solution is 200 milliliter, how much antiseptic is needed? So going by this question that we have here, we have 25 antiseptics and 75 water. So the question asks us how much antiseptics is needed. So then we need 25% antiseptics of the solution, which is total of 200 milliliter. Then we can say 25% of 200 milliliter with 25 over the cost of this percent. That will be 25 over 100 times 200 milliliter. Then we can divide. Our 100 can divide 200 to give us 2. That will be 25 times 2 to give us 50. So the patient, with the antiseptic that is needed in that case, be 50 milliliter of that antiseptic. And the next one is a patient's heart rate increased from 60 beats per minute to 75 beats per minute. What is the percentage increase? So here, the first thing we need to find is what is the increase? The increase here will be 75 divided by minus 60. We want to find the difference between 75 and 60. If you do that, that will be 75 minus 60, and that will give us the increase. So then now that we want to find the percentage increase, so that means we just say the increase divided by the original, which is the original heart rate, which is 60, then we just multiply by 100, and that's what we have as the solution here. So we find the increase amount, which is 75 minus 60 to give us 15, then divide that 15 by the original amount, the original heart rate, which is 15 divided by 60, then we multiply by 100. At the end of the day, our answer is 20. So I want you to join me for the next class. Subscribe, follow, like, love, share, and there will be some exercises from the comment section. I want you to try it, and let's meet next time. Thank you.